No.
If it doesn't go to YouTube, I can't help this.
She's just
How's
right
everything?
where it
Get
is.
your shit together.
I've seen her working, she's very
It's not my
respectful.
fault,
Oh, yeah,
but,
she does, she's
Aha.
very nice.
And I have some.
Try to get away with it.
We're live.
So the two of us have like our voices are shot.
It's 501. Yes, it is.
It's
And,
4:57.
That computer says.
Yeah.
I know, but it's wrong.
Oh, you got it. You got it. up and going.
Oh, we have 3 minutes.
Oh, okay. Camera's working. So,
But she's doing okay?
yeah. I think we're both on the upswing. I sound worse than she does just because I lost my voice.
what happened to you?
Yeah. I wonder why she was so damn happy.
How are you? I'm good.
How's it going?
Good. Did you go to Florida? You look tan.
Yes.
Or was it?
It was great. It was awesome.
They let you take
My
off,
daughter.
huh?
I know.
They let me get out of the chair. Can you believe it?
I submitted yesterday to
4:58.
Is it up and running?
Yeah.
It is, yes.
Board for my house for the windows and shutters, and then
Last week I did one.
it's a big one. Yeah,
You've done some major
it's
big
a,
ones.
this is a 60,000 big one.
Did Jeff read us?
There's nothing inexpensive to do.
No, there isn't. No, it's not. You know,
It's
and especially on an old house, it's like, oh my gosh, how much is it?
But when they do shutters, you do the whole thing.
Right, yeah, right. So I was able to, out of all the shutters that came off the house,
I'm actually going to
75%
put
of them are
Kat's
in decent
project
shape.
up
And they're going
first.
back.
You're lucky, you're lucky.
Yeah, and then, so what I did is
Well,
I'm replacing all of the front
You're talking about
piece of the
26 Main?
Open Avenue shutters.
Yeah.
Aren't they first?
front,
yeah,
Which
that's
gives
the
me a
only one.
few extras on the others, you know, so I can.
459,
And then all the
459.
other shutters will be,
Are you gonna gain some?
oh, you-
Okay.
come on.
Well, you know what we do here.
Yeah, we screw them on,
Yeah,
you know, to the outside of the
to
trim.
the outside of the trim.
You notice that part, and you do- Oh,
459, 459. Uh-oh. Chris,
What?
could you please close that door so I don't have to get up again? That is very kind of you, thank you.
Wow.
Where do I submit my bill?
To the village.
Oh, it's locked.
It's live. Oh, is it locked? It's
No,
okay.
no.
I have the key. I have the key. It's okay. It's right next to me. Okay, it's 5 o'clock.
The Architectural Historic District Review Board of the Village of Warwick, New York, on April 1st, 2025, we call to order. Now we start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge
Pledge
allegiance
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everybody. Acceptance of the minutes from the March 4th, 2020 meeting. Did you,
Well, we have to do roll call first,
All
so
right,
just
yeah.
to,
all right, we'll do the roll call. Chris?
present, present?
Jane Gladden?
Here,
Matthew?
Here.
Glenn?
Here.
I guess everybody's here,
Okay.
all right.
so we can start. The first thing on the discussion of today is number 26 Main Street.
acceptance of minutes.
You gotta do the acceptance in minutes.
Ah, I missed that part again. Okay. We're gonna get that in somewhere here.
I'll
I
make a
make a
motion.
motion to accept the minutes from the last meeting.
Well, wait. So,
I wanna
You
hear a
want to-
motion, I wanna hear.
that's right, you want to, a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
All right, accepted. Now we can take a look at the agenda. Can we get to the agenda now?
Yes.
All right,
Does everybody agree? Yes.
Yes.
Agree.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
okay, the first thing on discussion today is number 26 Main Street. Merrily Home and Gifts. by Ms. Parella, is that
Yes,
right?
that's me.
Would you like to come up here, Ms. Parella?
Sure.
Hello,
Hi.
welcome.
Welcome to the village.
Thank you. Nice to meet you all.
Are you happy with your shop?
So far, so good. I haven't opened yet, so.
Looks good.
Thank you.
Are you coming from someplace else?
I have a business in Sugarloaf. I had a business called Merrily in Sugarloaf for 10 years now. So,
Wow.
yeah,
So
and
you
we
know
also own Rosner Soap as well. My husband makes the soap.
Oh, nice.
So that's our business as well in Sugarloaf. So yeah, I'm moving.
So you know the business.
Oh, gosh, yes, yes.
You know the
Yeah.
business.
We make a lot of what we sell. So.
And you're here for the color of the hanging sign, am I right?
A few things.
Okay.
It's not just the hanging sign, it's, the lettering on the windows. Yeah, and this picture.
It's simple and elegant, I think.
Thank you. Yeah, everything about Merrily is simple and subtle,
Yeah,
We
yeah.
like that.
clean and simple.
We like that.
So yeah, the, excuse me, lettering on the sign would be vinyl like most of the stores in Warwick on Main Street that I've looked at. And just to clarify that on the top of that page where I had it outlined in red was just to show you the size of it, not
Sure.
that there's gonna be dotted lines around it. Because that looks terrible. I was just trying to show the size.
Yeah, the spacing. yeah.
The spacing, right, the way it's showed in the code to figure it out,
Yep.
so I just wanted to illustrate that I had looked at that. So yeah, the two signs, basically in the same spot that Rainer Country used to have theirs in. I was going off of what they had years ago.
Okay.
And the one small one on the window of the door. I was proposing to paint the door black. I know Kathy has plans to do some sprucing up of the exterior of the building. And I know that we had talked about black, so that's why I was gonna preemptively get that going. Because right now it's just, you know, a terrible weathered shade of maroon.
Yeah.
So,
It needs,
needs
Needs
a little
help,
help.
little
Yeah.
help.
well, you're gonna make it happen, so
Make it
I
happen.
think that's great.
Well, the whole front of it does need a little cleaning, so I'll get that done before I open as well.
And when do you plan on
Yeah.
opening?
Sometime in April. I'm shooting for April 21st right now. It's a little fluid,
Yep,
but I would like to be open before the end of April.
okay,
That's the plan.
good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Lots to do.
Oh, gosh, yes.
Always is.
Does everybody approve of the black door?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
For
Thank
sure.
you.
Are you going to change the awning
I-
to gray?
No, well,
Okay.
I had talked to Kathy about that, since it's her awning, not mine. And I had changed it in the picture to show Kathy what I was kind of hoping we would do. And I just didn't change it back because it looks terrible. So I just
Yeah,
couldn't.
it's
But no, I'm not touching the awning right now. I would like to remove the awning if at all possible, but that's a conversation I have to have with my landlord. No, I won't be using it. It's
No.
really rusted. Yeah,
It tends
and it tends to block
to
your
block off all
entrance.
sorts of
Yes.
Yeah, and
You're
it's
better off
not,
without it.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I know that she's going to be having somebody look at the front of the building, and I don't know if they're gonna be taking it down, or if she wants us to
Okay.
take it down. So right now, I'm doing nothing with that,
Good. Okay.
until I talk to her some more. So no, that's just a artist's rendition, but not something that I'm coming to you with at this point. So the only thing on this picture is the lettering on the windows.
no, it looks great.
Thank you.
Let me question that just a little bit, that whole thing that we do all the time. If the car is going by at 25 miles an hour, are you going to be able to see that window lettering?
Well, they do have the sign above,
The M.
the M, you know, the black
Yeah.
sign. So you'll see that driving down the street.
Oh, yeah.
The others, I think,
The
are
other
more for
one gets a little
pedestrian.
bit busy with all the stuff in the windows.
Yes, it does, but it is similar to what some others on Main Street have. I didn't really want to clutter up the window with a lot of lettering. First of all, I didn't think it would look as aesthetically pleasing. And with the lettering on the door, they'll also know what it is that they're walking into.
You get a lot of foot traffic down there too.
Yes, we do, yes, we do. But I did want to have something on the door, on the windows, because at eye level, they're not gonna be looking up above. From the street up the sidewalk, they might
Yes.
see that, but at eye level, they're gonna look
See
and
that,
see
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So, that was my thought on that.
And what is the discussion about the lower part of the windows? It's to be painted out eventually with the owner's colors or your colors?
Well, that, from what Kathy told me, that color there, that
Okay.
Kristen's touching right now,
Yeah.
is not something she's going to be changing. That's,
Gray, yeah.
that
whatever-
grayish color.
Or whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever it is, that's, she was talking about the trim. What you see there that looks very yellowy,
Yep.
that's what she was,
The buttery yellow
Yeah.
color, yeah.
yeah.
That looks nice.
And that will be what color?
I don't know, because that's up to Kathy. But she had talked about black.
Just the whole door being black.
Yeah.
So,
That's too bad, because if the black now with the yellow looks good. If it all looks black, then it won't pop.
Well,
The way this
actually-
picture is now.
Yeah, I wish I had brought it, but I did do a mock-up of that as well, and it did look okay.
With the black?
Yeah.
Yes, because the windows alongside,
Because I kinda like that crazy
You
yellow.
kinda get that,
around.
get
I
so
do
much
like the
light
crazy
coming
yellow.
out.
Yeah, I really
I don't
do.
want you to lose it. I hate to say it, but the crazy yellow.
Anything that's bringing attention to the front.
well, the
green
yellow
plants
is
and the yellow.
is pretty. It looks very yellow in this shot, but it is more of a creamy color, like you see out closer to the
Right,
street.
right, yeah,
It's
yeah.
not really yellow. That's
Yeah,
just a trick
right.
of
I
the
was gonna
camera.
say, I never-
Could you talk her into doing this egg yolk yellow? I mean,
Like
crazy.
a good
as it
gold,
was-
like a good gold with.
Or
Well,
a good gold, because
um,
it's a good attention getting.
I do understand that, but for my own aesthetics, that's not a color I would want to. I don't really would feel comfortable. I would rather do a cream there, like it is on the outside. Like if you look at the
Around
the
window.
verticals.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
I would rather make it more creamy because that my colors really are black, gray,
So you're
cream.
neutrals.
Yeah, very
Okay,
neutral.
okay.
And inside the shop as well is very neutral. Everything is painted white now.
Okay.
So it's much more light and airy.
Well, I think it looks, how does everybody feel? I think it looks
I
very
think
good.
she's, I think it looks great.
Yep.
I really
Thank
do.
you. Thank you.
It's simply done and I like that.
Yeah, keep it simple.
Now, the Merrily sign is similar to what I have in Sugarloaf. I'm mimicking that in my branding that I have in Sugarloaf already. I have a sign like that on my building and a small sign, a small square sign like that projecting from my building.
So everybody likes the square sign?
Yep.
Yes?
Yes.
Good? Color of, yes?
And it's simply black and white.
So-
Easy to read.
Yes.
All approved?
All
Yeah.
approved.
All right, thank
All
you,
good.
Kat. Have a great night.
I'm good? Okay.
Bye.
You're good.
Awesome.
Good luck.
Thank you.
You got your work cut out for you now.
I was just taking videos. One side of the store looks very nice inside. The other side, not
Not
so
so
much.
Are you keeping-
Yet,
Yet.
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 Are you
Yeah.
keeping your shop open in Sugarloaf?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The Rosner soap stays in Sugarloaf for as long as it's in business.
Yeah.
That has been 26 years there.
You
We're the
gonna carry
second
soap
owners.
here?
So, well, I'm gonna bring some of the soap here. Not all of it, but some of it.
Good.
Because it's an amazing
I
product.
love those.
And I will let you all know when we do open. We will have a
Okay.
grand opening.
That would be
Please,
nice.
let us know.
We are. I'm gonna be joining the chamber. So there'll be, some celebrating.
Good. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you
Good
for
luck
your
with
help.
everything.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, well, we got-
It's like a pretty basic store, so-
Yeah. Doesn't have any sort of rocks
Have a good
Bye.
one.
Okay, good stuff.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Or tough, like.
You might, you got the next one. I
Come on up here, we'll find
Come
it,
up.
here it is.
Come up here.
Oh, right.
Hello, Jeff.
There's two different things that are gonna be discussed today.
Oh, first, we're going to talk at length about,
At length.
at length about 44 Colonial.
What about
because-
it? What about it?
What? No, you guys are too soon. We're talking about 44 Colonial.
Yeah, well, so is. yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
talking about 44 Colonial first.
Yeah, because they.
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
you.
I am?
Yeah.
Well, yes,
Yes, you
well,
are.
I mean,
Chris has to recuse
yeah,
himself.
I have to recuse myself, but I can explain what's going. So there was so the original drawing for it had a detached
Oh, right,
garage.
that one.
Yeah,
Gotcha. I can
and
actually talk.
You
and
can,
so
right?
we've taken away the detached garage and expanded it to a 3-car garage, and then just cleaned up that elevation. So this is the top picture there that you're looking at is the original submission. The bottom is the revision.
Okay.
So that's it.
That's
That's
it.
I
easy.
don't see any trouble with that.
No.
Don,
Okay.
how does everybody feel?
Well, John won't be here till 5:30.
Matt?
Who's John?
I'm good with it.
We're okay.
We lost some shutters, but that's okay.
We lost the shutters.
Are you okay? Is everybody okay with the change? Yes?
Yep.
Good?
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Okay.
No comment.
Shutters and Joe, gone. Sad.
Yes, and that was Chris accused himself.
That's right.
Okay, what else have we got?
This trim is gone.
Okay.
It's too bad. 'Cause this really looks good. Now it's
Which trim?
around the window.
lower.
That trim is gone. Your main focal window by the doors.
Oh, you know, I'll tell you, there's a reason why that went away. We had those windows wrapped on the sides too. They came around, so it was all kind of a whole unit.
Yeah.
And it was a bit overwhelming inside the room, so we went down to 3 windows.
Okay.
And so it didn't make sense to do it. Maybe we'll be back in a month with more panels on the bottom, who knows? Keep changing things.
I'll say there's that. We'll hope.
There's a reason why my hairline's so.
That's it. It's been like this for 35 years. He's like, but it's on the plans. I said, I know, but I changed my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got
Resolved.
to take it, right?
Right.
All right, next one?
Next one, what do we have next?
Okay, we have 63 Wheeler and Brock DeGraw and Jeff DeGraw are, this was kind of a I wouldn't say last minute, but last minute on
Yeah.
Friday. And they have some field changes for 63 and I said, just bring the pictures to show you guys today.
Perfect.
We had this really cool, the clients had this idea,
No, they brought.
very original, cool idea. We're gonna change the colors up. They thought they would do these really bright white siding with black windows. Does it sound good?
Michael face.
I was gonna do April Fool's rendering.
April Fool's.
It's gonna be this.
Is that you trying to kill the guy? Jeez.
Come on,
Alright. So that said,
so mean.
and we put a cell tower on the site too.
Yeah, sounds great. Let's do it.
So, there are a few changes though, there's a couple things, the construction costs are hitting them dearly.
So
So,
we'll imagine.
there, where they wanted to use natural wood siding, we were looking for a less expensive alternative on it. So we've got some hardy plank, and there was a white, the main structure was kind of white, we actually think it looked better dark as the place is coming together. So we have that proposal, and that was a vertical, and now we're proposing a horizontal, which I think looks nice. And the windows are still bronze, although they're now pushing towards a little bit more modern aesthetic, so we don't have the grills in the windows.
Okay.
I think it looks good. So anyway, here's
Fine.
the plan, so we'll pass them out. And that's the old one. Yep.
Is that before?
This is the before one.
Yep.
I'll give you that one. So. The before rendering was more of an example to show.
Thank you.
And then we have the colors
Yeah,
too.
we got one. You know what's happening.
That's the new rendering.
That's right.
Yeah, so there's like there was a
Where's
window
the
that was in
color?
the bathroom we wanted to get rid of. There was just a few odds and ends.
Is this what they're
Plans
proposing?
didn't change.
Oh, no.
There's lots of
Is this changing from what it was before?
That's the new.
From this?
Yeah.
Yeah, we lost a lot. That's different.
You got the original? Yeah, he has that.
It's unfortunate.
I think it'll look great out there, I mean, because it's a very clean structure, it looks, so the overall volume.
Now you're doing a horizontal instead of a vertical, is that right?
No, we're gonna keep vertical here.
This is what it looks like. This is, this is,
This is,
that's a nice symmetry. I don't, this is,
I don't like those windows.
this looks like, I hate to say it, this looks like a mistake.
I think it, actually, honestly, the clients do have kind of it has gone a little bit more modern on it, I agree. I think it's clean and attractive, so.
I don't
We'll
know the
agree.
imbalance of the-
We'll agree to disagree.
it's a big wall siding.
Yeah.
It's relatively close to the original elevations that were submitted to the board, but
I'm getting together the renditions to put up on
the window layouts are more similar.
so that's what was approved.
Yep.
So
This is the new rendition.
Yeah.
That's,
How does everybody feel? What do you have to say? Say something, man. Len, somebody, say something.
Well, it depends what's going on. I mean, we're going from 1, 2, 3, 4 5 windows to 2.
Roof over the
Is there
door.
a reason for that?
So there is.
And the
And
roof
I-
over the door, I mean, that's gone too.
Yeah.
I mean, so here's the things that are coming up on this. Some of this is absolutely cost-driven. There's no question. So this is up in an attic, so there's really no need for that. And what has happened is kind of, as the framing has come together, this is a very cool, sort of taller space in here, so that taller window was really looking very good on the inside. This window is in a bathroom area, as the way it had to come together, so this really was not making sense. And the thing to remember about this, old Grange Hall was not a building with a ton of windows. You know, it was more of an agricultural thing. So, totally get you about the symmetry. I mean, that's something we can talk about. The roof over the door, I mean, that could stay. I mean, that's not really a big component. This back in here, just to go over, again, how are we on the colors, first of all? As far as,
Well, let's get to the colors after we talk
talk
about.
the windows. So anyway, that's,
Well, I'll say this, you broke up the colors. Now it's all one color.
that's two.
Yeah, that color, and then this looks like that's white, so this is,
This
was
was
what-
darker.
it's a little darker,
So
but
it's these two here.
It's these two. So there is a pretty, it's hard to get in the rendering, you know, exactly what's happening there. So these are really pretty similar. And that's, owner, John.
Hello.
John.
Hi, everyone.
John.
Sorry I'm late.
Hello.
Hey, Greg. Glenn, sorry. the other Ryan.
okay.
I mean, the white, there's, I don't know, John, would you rather have the
What
white?
is,
as opposed to. the
why is this window smaller than
What
this
is
window?
this?
I understand that you have space and
Privacy
it gives a wonderful, elegant look in this room, whatever. What is this room?
That's at the stair,
There'll be
the stair set. So that's the only way to let in the light was from there.
Balance with those two windows.
And now here, before this entrance, when I went to the restaurant, because I remember that's the restaurant entrance, the one all the way to the right. And it looks like you were bringing people to it. You have a little canopy over it, and now with this rendering, it looks like you're hiding it. What's happening now?
So this is the hotel entrance. So it was just to kind of block people from coming in this way because this access is only going to go directly up to the hotel room. So to go in the market, we'll go here. To go into the entrance, the restaurant is on the opposite side.
So the entrance is on the side with it.
It's still here, but now you have to walk around this, and come in.
Right, this is the restaurant. That's for the hotel rooms above. That's the market over here.
And how are there signature signs that said hotel and restaurant and all that?
We haven't done any signage yet,
To
so
identify where you're supposed to go?
yeah.
But that
What is
you
that?
out.
What
Yes,
is that?
absolutely. And I know I'm
It's a privacy
to come
screen.
back and see you.
And no door now?
There's a door behind the privacy screen. I'm assuming a sidewalk around the privacy screen because it's not shown on the rendering. It's a different feel. It's a whole different feel.
It's,
Different building.
I think one of the confusions that happened too was in the original ARB submission, this rendering was more to show the contrast between the natural wood siding and the white siding on the back. The 2D elevations are actually dramatically different than this that were originally submitted, that are a little closer to what you're seeing now.
That's these two that we have here in front of us.
That's if, it should be in the submission, but it's, I gave you the package over there. It's underneath all the papers.
So
Yeah,
where,
that's it.
Yeah, that's it right there. So it's the page after that.
where's the parking lot?
The next page.
I know, I'm just,
So it's in the front, it's in this place here.
It's
in
here.
front of you.
so we lost, in this rendering too, on this side, we lost windows too. We lost a good amount, we lost 3 windows on that side as well.
Which side are we looking at?
This short side that's going away from us, that side, it looks like,
The cafes.
yeah, looks like we're losing windows on that side too. Because that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it has 6 windows?
No, that one has, right now, it has 5 windows in total.
6.
Yeah, 6. So this is the proposed elevation currently.
But what would the original one have on?
It would have been,
That's drawing.
it would have been that one down there.
Can't do anything you want, point to which one it is. That's just the front.
Which,
Those are the two sides.
this is
These are all the
That's the
old,
back side. That's the side going into the bistro.
currently or the old one?
The old one.
So the old one, this was the old one.
This was the front for the.
I'm confused, that's
That's old.
old.
That was the original approved elevation drawings.
So what had happened with the confusion is that rendering we had done previously in one of the first meetings when we were trying to get the colors and such, siding. And then as we were done, we had kind of gone to this, so I think that's where the confusion arrived. We're not trying to,
Wait,
we've obviously
that-
been very transparent with
This,
everything.
that rendition that you see there, that was proposed 11/7/23.
Okay,
Wow.
That rendition.
And then this one was,
And then, hold on.
That's this one.
that's the
that's
old.
11/7.
this December 8th, so that was after.
Well, let's get rid
And
of all the
these-
stuff
this
that
is-
was,
This is,
so that we
this
just
is,
see whatever
What's
is.
what we're doing now. Okay.
That's, now it gets confusing about what was and what isn't in 2 versions.
so these are your approvals. You approved the roof in Heritage Premium Rustic Black. The siding was horizontal Hardy Plank Smooth Arctic White. Approved siding vertical pine cladding, and the windows were Colby Forge Series bronze. So I guess you're re-proposing what kind of windows you're going to put in, right?
No, the windows are the same.
Okay, the windows.
Same with
It's
bronze.
There's still a bronze finish.
Okay,
It's an
okay.
interesting window with a bronze
Yeah.
finish. though.
Oh, okay,
We're good
all
with
right.
that.
And the
That's
pine
fine.
siding has gotten really expensive, so
Yeah.
that's where we're proposing
Okay.
a different vertical
Yeah.
siding.
Okay.
We're proposing it's a Sierra 8 Hardy. So that's the last image in the package is some examples of
And
that.
still a vertical.
Still a vertical.
So vertical.
A little thicker though, I believe.
And
with
this
panels.
is the entrance to the restaurant.
That would be entrance to hotel.
No, the hotel.
This is the entrance to the restaurant.
No, this is the market.
They've got three separate things.
3 separate entrances.
And then the
Here, Michael, I would
restaurant's
look at
over
it.
here.
I think you gotta look at that. So, restaurant entrance here on the side.
Yeah, and this is with the screen around it.
No,
The screen's right here.
right here.
So that's the entrance to the
Hotel.
hotel rooms, and then this is the market coming in. And the market and the restaurant are interconnected, so.
So you can move
It's-
from
it's
one.
One to
in
the
that-
other, right through, yes,
Right, this
correct.
is the
yeah,
dumpster
correct, yeah,
enclosure that was improved.
And now when
Yeah.
people come, where do they park?
Right up here.
And so
Which
they,
now looks
they
like the
see,
exact same
they
thing
see
that's
this building,
enclosing
the first
the
thing
hotel.
they see is this picture,
Yeah.
yeah, correct.
when they get out of the car. Fine, I guess, except the only thing that bothers me are these two, to me, it's misshapen. One is the tall and the short, it looks like it's an afterthought, it's just,
I think, so here's kind of the thought on this a little bit. In Warwick, we always have a tendency to go towards the very traditional, right?
that's what we are.
We are, but there are certain situations where it's tough to do that, like we've hit Warwick Tie and the things, and when I remember being here saying it's very hard for us to go back to the old colonial on a building like this. You know, so we kind of let that thing happen. There's High Street, where we've also taken traditional forms, a very simple barn-like form, and given it a modern approach with the windows. I feel like this is in that range, and it's something that I know John really appreciates from other projects he's seen, not necessarily ours, but there's Innis up in, wherever it is, up in
Akron.
Yeah, Ulster County. Gorgeous, and it has a little bit more of that kind of modern approach to it with the windows being, and I think that gets that. I think if you stand out there on the site, I think it'll look fantastic, I really do. Like, I want my name on this thing, so I have to be clear with it. And I think that randomness is what gives it that sort of modern edge a little bit. So I think it has a nice balance, because you've got all these great traditional forms of the original grain structure, and it's just a little playful. So I actually think it's everybody's gonna have an opinion on that one, so.
This is the only thing that bothers me.
Screen?
The screen. I just, it's a great structure.
I
I
don't
mean,
think,
I think, it's an entrance to a hotel, but most people are gonna have a key. This door probably should not be unlocked. It'll be a key.
Or a cipher or something.
yeah,
You know,
I
for
think that could be
security.
done with landscaping to downplay that entrance, as opposed to
I
a
think you
screen as
have
well.
to do, yeah.
So I don't know, how strongly you feel about the screen, or,
I mean, if it's a point of contention, we can definitely rework it. The whole idea was that just to create a separation of privacy. I think upon entrance, it's like you kind of walk around, you unlock the door, it's a little bit more, you're not just
visible.
out in the open and
Yeah.
visible stepping into your hotel room. So it was more by way of making a more of a private entrance. But again, if it's that enclosure, if we have to do it with larger landscaping, I still would like some kind of screening there to
Okay.
at least allow for some privacy for the hotel guests.
and I think it's too, because you approach that facade, you don't want to be confused with that door, as, most people are gonna be going to the restaurant. So I think that was part of it as well.
And there's no way to get to the restaurant from that hotel. That's a designated hotel room entrance.
And that says so, it says
It's going to.
hotel.
We have
We'll be
not
back
we have
soon.
not designated
Yeah, I mean,
signage,
that's
but
the concept,
Yeah.
that it,
Yeah.
there's a hand pointing that this is where it goes.
correct.
I think we said neon, actually.
Blanking.
Yeah.
Back to these windows. What is this room here?
That's the
It's a
stairs.
staircase.
No, the smaller of the two, I believe, is the staircase. The larger is in.
The larger of the two windows is centered on the staircase. The
Correct.
smaller of the two windows is in the
Hotel room.
hotel room. I think it's 102.
And the ceiling sloping down, it's so cool when you walk inside the space. It really turned out really, really sharp. So I think that window just does an amazing job of capturing it.
The next one? No.
No, but
I'm gonna argue that you could pop a window in the lounge area, and then you can move the window that's in the hotel room, and we can kind of get back to the free window there, that I think would make a lot of people here happy.
So talk to us about the color. So with these windows, you're gonna have the darker color,
This would be the lighter color.
the lighter
The
colors.
lighter color would be on that front. Yeah.
And what is this?
That would be on the back portion. the further back,
Okay.
what they were calling the original Grange Hall.
That would be back on where that's white.
Chris, you see what I'm saying?
Okay, so, and then the trim around the windows will be the same?
The same.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't want to highlight the trim. We want
Right.
to keep it all
The same.
very monotone. We just were trying to do tone on it to kind of get that to pop forward a little bit.
Colors look good.
Yeah, I like the colors.
It's not an
Yeah.
option.
The other thing too, the reason for the darker is as you're standing there, there's a few things that happen. You've got that huge white building that went up down the street, right? The black windows, the apartment building. I think we want a distance from that,
Multi-family home.
Yep, definitely.
whatever that,
The multifamily home, yeah.
whatever that is,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
want a
yeah.
distance.
Yeah.
You know, so going to the darker and having this recede is something somebody taught me a long time ago. So that's kind of where we're after for that building, and then letting the other one just kind of come forward a little bit.
I would also say about when you're talking about moving the window to the other side, I mean, a lot of thought has gone into, you know, what you're looking at when you're standing in this room. So it's like if you're where the window is currently, you're looking over our landscaped, essentially parking lot with people kind of coming in. If it comes around to the other side, you're looking directly into the neighbor's backyard. If you're looking, so you're proposing to move the window over
No,
here.
I'm taking this window and want to move it here, and I want to pop that window here so that I have the symmetry back
But
again.
There's a little bit of a problem with the head heights in there. If we put-
It's a knee wall or?
this is only about a 5-foot wall or so, right? I mean, it's not very tall, so if I push that window down, the window kind of has to stay here for that to work. And I think the plan has changed just a little bit, because we've had to, you got to get that stairwell to keep it symmetrical. You'd have to have this other window.
You have another window, two windows in the stairwell.
Two windows in the stairwell right there. Yeah.
That would be how you'd set it. I mean, you could push this over.
Well, I don't, because who cares at this point, because then that light still serves both the stairwell and the lounge.
Right.
So at the end of the day, if I have a window here, and then you mirror it on this side, I go back to this elevation, I'm like, I think we'll all, that looks so much better than this weird little big window.
I mean, it's not a house, so this is a building that's a restaurant and a hotel. So I think this is looking much more like a house to me, rather than,
It's
you know,
in a
this is
residential
a
area.
business.
Well, we want it to look like a house at the end of the day.
But it's not, you know, I mean,
But you're surrounded by houses, you're saying it's a hotel, hotel is it's apartments for people who are, I want it to look like a house. I don't want it to look like, this looks like a weird museum. This is the outside of a weird museum that can't have enough windows. That's why you have weird windows in the museum. That looks like, where people want to go and live. So this looks like the hotel. This looks like a place where.
Right. But from a different tack too, this was never a house. This was a range. It was an agricultural building with no windows. So there's a kind of little argument to go in that direction too. So in the end of the day, this becomes kind of subjective. It's hard to say, but it is the whole of the ARB. So.
This is,
Would you be happy with the roof over the door and still no window? It would break up that plane a little bit.
The roof is, I think we'd be happy to put the roof back in. I don't think that's, John, I don't know. Or are you trying to?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is like all of this in this reproposal, a lot of it is due to budget constraints, So, I mean, if we have to put the awning to make it seem, I mean, the other thing about having the window on that far side is it's overlooking our garden, rather than the lounge area overlooking the parking lot. There's, I think window placements have been.
There definitely was an approach where some of this was driven from inside out. There's no doubt about it.
It's a peculiar space for sure.
It is a,
I mean, one of the situations up on that second floor is the existing truss structure that keeps the whole building up. So a lot of the interior walls follow suit with how the existing structure
of the
is.
building, yeah.
So,
yeah.
to kind of, it's been an issue kind of balancing what's right on the outside, what's right on the inside, and you start to kind of mesh the two of them. I mean, I I'm not completely opposed to the idea of 3 windows there. I mean, you could push that out, and I've seen a lot of like more contemporary figures with that 3 spacing. I sort of like the enclosure on the other side, especially because the thought there is if you start to do some sort of enclosure and the language of it could change, but I like the idea that that color plays off the other color on the other
I
side.
think colors were okay, and I think it's just these windows here.
I think it's the problem with this table, I think, are the windows.
Yes.
Yeah,
Windows.
this is gonna be fun. Because I can argue another side of it. I feel like if I put a other window here, all of a sudden it feels to me like a 70s contemporary or sort of a Catholic church from the mid-70s.
I was going to say church.
What's that?
I was going to say church as
And
well.
That's what I read, you know, so it's funny that the simple thing of removing that gives it to me a little bit of an edge, which I feel like we want in Warwick. I think that's something that's always been good. You know, that's just a thought.
But if you didn't have that little window,
That's our only,
It's the only
Yeah,
window.
what
The
if
light.
do a skylight, can you do a skylight there?
No,
we really need
Why
some
not?
they're trying to, they're trying to get this with their
egress,
budget.
egress. Yeah, we need a way, you know, a comfortable way out of that room.
That's,
Entice it.
yeah.
It's pretty too, I mean, that, just, it gives a good light.
They've got the roof on already too.
The roof is on. I'm not a big fan of skylights if I can avoid them just for,
For maintenance and headache.
yeah.
If this had, how, everybody wouldn't sleep nights if you had another window over here? Is that what's happening here with the designers?
I mean,
Every time you'd go by, you'd wanna throw up, that sort of thing? I mean, tell me what you know.
This.
I don't know, John, what do you, it doesn't,
I mean, you know
This is still-
as well as I do how much has kind of gone into the window design
I
for
know.
me. I mean,
Well, you know, that can't be an excuse, because that's what you're in the business for. You're a designer.
no,
No,
he's the owner.
He's
Oh,
the
you're the owner, then you're the designer. However it is, that's the job to make it work.
Yeah. So, will I throw up? No.
You know, have you thrown up yet?
Yeah.
You've already.
In my past, I have, but there's certainly some things that don't appear on our website. So, no, I mean, the other window there, it's so much better without it. That's the thing. You know
Yeah,
what
I
I,
feel so much better with it.
so,
Man, how do you feel about that?
You know, I feel I want that window.
I do too. That's a great big blank barn wall. There's nothing there.
current, or this is what we
Unbalanced.
I
proposed.
tell you what,
What we're proposing right now.
perfect world.
Where's the one that we submitted last time?
Rather than that, then there's no reason not.
But now, okay, so let's go backwards. Now we have to have that. That's really about the only spot we can put.
Which had
So
2
we got
windows.
Yeah,
So put
It just
something
had
on
two
the
here?
other side to balance it.
Well, I had a thought. I was like, if we didn't have that fence and we had the roof here to give it sort of more of an interesting balance, it could be,
it would
Could
be
be
a
more of a
balance,
look.
because it gives it some height.
yeah, it
And
could,
it would break up the mass of this, of the front of this
You've
building.
got a lot of building.
That's an
How often
awful
do you
lot
guys
of
meet?
building.
A month.
Once a
Issue.
month, the first Tuesday of the month.
because I was gonna say, this is the kind of thing we could try back in the office real quick and get back, but I think waiting a month's gonna be a problem.
She's gonna tell you what's possible and what's not.
Yeah, we're happy to try things and get this to
Well,
be happy for
I
everyone.
mean, I like a roof over a door, somebody you could come in. and-
You're not gonna hurt my feelings with a roof over a door, I know.
But, you know, to your point, you said, like, it'll look like a barn, but basically that's what it was.
Yeah,
It-
it is.
But that's not what it's going to be.
Oh,
Well,
But
we're building something new.
but it's not
But
a
I
house
don't
either.
want it to look like an apartment building back there either, you know, like, I wanna maintain some of that history. And I think if you go back there now, it's coming out really great,
Yeah,
it feels good.
looks good.
The windows aren't cut in to the zip board yet, so if you're thinking that there's no.
Chris told me.
Yeah, I think the only
Chris
windows
told
that
me.
are cut are
Chris
the
told
upper
me.
ones, because they're off the ground, you know, yeah. just probably from a security standpoint too. so
Mhm.
people don't go in.
How soon can, is there a way we can see some sort of a drawing of a porch or roof covering on this part instead of this
And a window?
in the window?
We'll try with and without.
Jeff, I would like you to show Michael that, whatever Michael wants.
Well, how soon can we show that?
Could we do it by email, or is it?
There's the rendering with the roof over the door.
And there's that window.
Pen, who's got a pen?
Approved.
Yeah, there you go.
Is the brick
Sorry,
exposed?
but I
Is
can't.
that breaking up the siding too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, draw your magic, so.
Yeah, didn't
Because that's not in the rendering.
it's
that
not in the
would help.
rendering, yeah.
What's,
The brick.
The brick is not shown as being exposed.
because that is brick all the way down, right?
Mhm.
It doesn't sound like that's ever going to go away. It sounds like they're keeping the screen.
Oh, okay.
And it looks like the
Well,
same
the-
screen you're using to
screen-
hide the
the screen-
garbage cans? Is it the same screen?
Yeah.
Oh, it
I
is.
believe so.
It
Yeah,
is
I
almost
noticed that.
identical. Can that change? Can it not
Sure,
be the
that's-
same
that's a-
screen as the garbage?
That's sort of what my thought process was, you know, if you ended up with 3 windows and you kind of worked on the screening design, I think
I think if this screen was a little bit different, it would make a
Totally
huge
fine.
difference.
I mean, I don't think there's any magic in that screen.
Okay.
You know,
'cause
that's not,
The screen,
that is,
They could come
you know how that
back
happens sometimes, right?
to
I
the
just- you needed
meeting.
a placeholder.
You need a placeholder,
I-
so.
If you, okay, so could we go over this? What is going to hold up this project? What do you need the
Siding.
board to approve today?
The
Because
siding?
you could always come
Siding.
back with the screen, you know what I mean? They could always represent the screen to you in a month. That
That's
won't
fine.
hold you up.
That one- I think
I'm fine with the colors. If you
Well-
need to walk away with colors, I'm fine with these colors.
Yeah, everybody's fine with the colors,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, tell me what the colors
Change
are.
the siding.
siding.
It's
Okay.
Can you
Change
give
the
me
color,
the
change the
siding
siding.
colors?
Privacy with the roof.
Rich espresso, of
Can we-
course.
And you've got green.
And unfortunately, this is not
that
cappuccino.
protects the people
Monterey.
going in and out of the, it softens the.
Well, this
Yeah,
could be handled with,
I
do we have
would
any
think-
room to plant anything there if we had?
Yep.
So we could, this frankly.
Well, hold on, we got planting money, we've got planting money, we got.
That can come later, so, but this needs a foundation, this is the whole thing, the planting we can do, but, with a little bit of adjustment of landscaping and
What did you sketch in the middle?
that's tree.
Okay.
So, but I think you don't have to do it all with the architecture all the time, so that's part of it. I am gonna just draw this window in and I'm afraid, I don't like it.
So what's behind that window?
That,
Would be in that
That's
same
stairwell.
room.
That would land in
Stairwell
that
slash
stairwell.
lounge.
yeah,
It would what?
It would land in that stairwell.
Okay. Does it mean anything to
I think it's more about,
cost?
we all, there's two things, it is another window, and it may sound like not a lot of money, but it
No,
is, every
I know.
penny
I
counts
know.
at this point.
Yep,
It is nicer without the window when you're inside the space,
Okay.
clearly. So it's really about,
Just one, I'm not supposed to say anything, but is this window centered on the gable?
Yes.
yeah.
It is centered.
You can say something, you just can't vote on it, but you're
Okay.
allowed to talk.
I don't know.
yeah,
I won't
Well, we
be in
have that
trouble.
other window.
You won't.
On the garden
You
side.
just can't vote.
I'm even wondering about it.
I don't know, just being silent is nice.
Well, I think if we have the siding, okay, the siding approved,
Siding approved.
that's a big help. And I think it's really just, we're getting down to,
Yeah.
I personally,
Is
like
the
to see it.
siding still in the same way, the horizontal, are you still
Yes.
doing it the same layout, just different colors?
yeah.
No,
No,
not compared to that.
Horizontal.
not compared to that, so
So it would be,
Different material.
you're doing this horizontal?
Correct.
Okay, and this vertical?
Correct.
Okay,
and we want you to know and understand exactly what the horizontal's easy, that's a hardy board, clapboard. The vertical, I don't want any surprises, I want you to know exactly what that is. Brock has a picture of it. It is a Hardy product. It is not board and batten.
It is Sierra A architectural panels. They read like
That's
vertical
it.
wood. Almost, I wouldn't call it shiplap, but that's what it reads closer to.
It's not shiplap, because there's an overlap.
No.
It's butts,
But it's not, it's almost like a board and batten without the batten.
without the
Okay.
strip.
Correct.
But it is a panel.
It's a panel.
It's a panel. It's
Oh,
not
this is
individual
it.
boards.
Yeah. I think it's 7 1/4 reveal.
That doesn't
Or
bother
seven.
me, does that bother you? No.
No, I like
No.
it.
No.
Okay, just,
I think the real problem here is the windows up there and the entrance to the hotel.
well, can I just ask, this is, now, because some of this is happening in real time, so we're just trying to, that roof over the door, do you not want?
Yeah, it's just, you know, we took them off because it was like another 10 grand, you know, I mean, I don't know, between that and the window, it's like, I'm putting everything into this, and I'm sitting here, we're talking about like having and throwing more money in landscaping, like you know, I wish you could kind of sit in my shoes from where I'm at, like this has all been budgetary with foundation work we've done in the front, we're rehabbing a 120-year-old building, and
They had to
We're-
completely rebuild the marketplace.
we're sitting here now talking about adding another window and potential awnings. It's like, I just don't have the money to do all of these things. So I'm like, you know, with
And I think
I don't
as
know
a board,
really know
we
what
need
to
to
say.
be sympathetic to the owner's needs. I mean, this has come up before. And I think landscaping is gonna be an ongoing, situation with this.
yeah, well, and that's built into the budget via through the site plan. I'm working with
I mean,
local
it'll-
guy. You know, it's that's all happening. You know, I mean, the garden, the outside area has to be as beautiful as we're presenting the building to be. So. I think there's a lot of room to be done, like in terms of the landscaping, but in terms of, you know, I mean, awnings could come with phase 2, you know, but for now, it's like this is what we have money for.
I'm more interested in the window than the awning, to be honest. I feel like the awning is an applique, while the window's a real thing. I think the window and whatever I'm gonna call the privacy screen, if it doesn't look this way, I think whatever your next attempt is on the privacy screen, that would be great to see. But the awning to me is, that's not, it just looks like something that's got glued onto the building to make some people happy. I'm less concerned about the awning than the window and whatever the screen looks like.
I agree. I mean, the privacy screen itself, like that's something you guys have talked about. It's something you want to do one way or the other. So I think there's room to design and play with that idea and get something that looks great on the building that everyone's really happy with. It seems, and whether or not that ends up, you know, the best answer is an awning, or there's just a good way to kind of do this privacy screen that complements the building. I think the main question becomes that additional window, and whether or not the board itself is hard set on that issue or not. I mean,
That's a good point. Because I think that they could come back at a later date for the privacy screen and the awning, like later when, like Jesse said, right now it's a so right now, I guess what Brock has said is true, that they have to, the board should decide about the window.
Well, this is an ongoing project, so there's, you know, approving the siding is a big thing, so you can move forward on that. These other things will come a little bit later.
It's just the window.
It's just the
The
window.
The
It's
window.
just the window.
And I'm not opposed to, you know, trying to turn something, the problem is ordering it, right, and getting it there. Actually, I do like the roof over the door simply because of practicality. That-
I totally do too. I mean, it's like it rains a lot, like it just, you know.
You're standing outside, trying to get
So
the
on that,
heat in the rain.
could it be an awning of, instead of a roof structure, but an awning structure,
Yeah.
which is, you know, a fraction of the cost?
I would
It's still cost,
I would
nonetheless,
just
but,
have to see costs,
you
you
know.
know, because it's.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know.
I can't say for sure, you know. Yeah.
Yep.
There's
So
like-
really, it's just like Brock said, you decided upon the siding colors. Okay, you said yes to that, right? But what Brock is saying right now, you have to decide about the window because that's what will hold up their project.
Right, that's-
Not the
that's gonna affect-
awning, not the screen, because he can come back later. And, is that right?
Well, But I'm offering out too that,
Yeah.
you know, we can tomorrow get some other sketches together with this
I
window.
can't
So
do
does it-
that.
Can't do
That's
that.
the thing, because it's the public, you know,
So-
it's, this is live stream, so the
Just a
public
su-
is
just a
watching this.
suggestion, you know, some of the windows haven't been cut out yet for the, on the zip panel. You know, so you don't get a full feeling of, you know, an opening, whether it has a window in it or not, you can understand it in the form.
I know where he's going.
Cut the windows open, show them, you can always put a piece over the backside on the inside, and then I think everybody should go out there and look at the building, because you can't
I
get
think it's a
the
very
full,
good idea.
you can't get a real feel for the building sitting here looking at 2D drawings and, you know, and its proximity to other sites and other buildings and what's going on. I think your best thing is to see those openings cut out, and they gotta get cut out anyway, right? So cut them out, and then I think everybody gets, you know, get up there and take a look at it. you
No,
know?
okay, you could, but then that would hold the project up, right? Because then you'd come to the, I'm gonna give another solution to this, all right? I love that idea. Okay, so if he did that, would it hold up the project if you came the next time and decided upon that? Or we could say, okay, one of you can go there and accept the field change.
So,
One of you, because then the public doesn't
It's not-
have to be.
It's not a meeting.
No, that's exactly right. With two people, it's not a meeting. So
I say
it's all about
send Jane.
the law and notifying the public. So those are two options that the board would have.
one other thing about it too is, you know, at the end of the day, it's adding instead of subtracting. Like if we put a window in and he said we hate that window and we're taking it out, that's kind of that's holding up the project. But if it's a question of getting another window in there, that's not going to hold things up necessarily. Yeah, maybe marginally.
It holds up
siding.
Holds up siding.
Hold up
Yeah,
siding.
you
What
know,
about the
inside,
lead
you know.
time to get the window?
It's a delete time.
There's
for
lead
everyone.
times,
What
but
long time, right?
And I just really, the symmetrical look for me on that front side of the building just doesn't feel right,
is
you know?
when you're at the building does just aesthetically or proportionally low to the left side. It's the way that the driveway is a little raised up in the building, so when you're pulling down and driving in, your eye does draw to that left side. It doesn't really exist in this sort of 2D vacuum we're seeing on paper. But
And actually, that rendering is not what the direction you typically.
no, I
see
mean
the
you'd be
thing.
standing
That's
standing near
most
the
of the
dentist's
neighbors.
office.
It's from the
so-
dentist. I think it's a dentist.
Yeah, you'd be kind of where their generators are.
How do you all feel about that idea
What
that
do
you
you feel
presented
about two windows?
about one person going over there and seeing?
I mean, I think I'm okay with the two windows, you know.
I am too. I mean, I just think doing a third window to make the architecture better in somebody's eyes, it's,
So, Johnny, what's the stage inside the building right now on the second floor?
The walls are all framed up.
Right.
Rough plumbing and electrical is there.
Right.
You know, the flooring has all been re-supported.
Yeah.
A bunch of those sort of truss structures have been assessed from the structural engineer and
Yeah.
removed to kind of clear walkways
Yeah,
and
sure.
egress. The hallway all the way down to the far end where the egress stair is all done.
As far as sheet rocking though, what's
Not
the
yet.
plan on that, scheduling wise? Like, is it 30 days? Is it, you know, when is that? The reason why I say is, you've got these openings for these windows as per design. And if and those two I think are cut out on the gable. And, you know, if you sided the building as is with those, just the two openings, and the inside wasn't completed yet, i.e. sheetrocked and so forth,
Yeah.
if push comes to shove, you could always put a window in and cut it into, you see where I'm going with it?
Yeah,
Is that,
yeah, yeah.
okay? It allows you to keep going with the siding on the outside, and if it's that strong, you know, strongly needed to have that window, it could be done, just as long as that inside finish isn't done yet.
Yeah, so there is, yeah, but we're definitely not within yeah, the siding and the windows
Right,
are going to
right,
be
right,
finished far
right.
before the interiors for the hotel rooms. So if
So-
that were the case, then
Yeah.
that is
And
absolutely a
to me, I'm saying,
possibility.
you know, you could approve it as designed. Let Johnny move on with it. And, but one caveat is that we could revisit the window, but at a certain point, there's a cutoff,
Mhm.
right?
That's
You know, as that inside is finished.
Mhm.
So, you know, because you have to get the project done. So, but if you're saying that, you know, in the next 30 days, it's not gonna be sheet rocked up there, well, that's another meeting cycle.
Yeah.
So that means that people, the members on the board could, you know, at their leisure, get out there, take a look at it
Mhm.
individually, not as a group. Because- And then come back, just, again, we're having a discussion session, not
Yeah.
you know, an initial planning session, you know,
Mhm.
on it, so. And that just kind of gives everybody the opportunity to get out there, because I think it's important to get to see the building, and it's the whole scope that it's in, you know, the surroundings and everything.
Absolutely. Yeah,
So-
well, we're definitely farther than 30 days out on finishing the
Yeah,
upstairs,
yeah,
so.
yeah. So
that's not
that
an
just
issue.
gives, all I'm looking at is that gives a little bit of a window of, you know, some time in there, but allows you to keep going.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
And,
Yeah, I mean, that's, the upstairs is not gonna be finished by that time, so,
okay.
so.
So how do you wanna proceed? You wanna,
You're going to screen the dumpsters that you're putting there, right?
Mhm.
Okay. I just wanna make sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's part of planning.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
so we're all gonna go up there and take a look at the building.
Okay.
Then what do you need us to do as a board?
Oh, you did it. You approved the Rich Espresso Monterey taupe siding, and you said that you approved the window.
Well-
The
What?
at the design as presented. That's what I'm hearing from you. That
Well,
currently, that's what you're.
That's what I'm suggesting, and then, but leaving a little bit of a wiggle area in there, so that everybody, because, again, you know, it's, you can approve what you look on paper, but getting out there in Johnny's defense and their defense on the design, is, I think you really need to see it in person.
So when will the
And we-
cutouts be
Well-
for us to go up there and take a look at?
I
So
think
you're gonna cut 2 windows out, is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna be ready to start cutting all the windows out around the building, so I think, you know, around this time next week, we could start arranging some time to get you up there to
Okay.
start taking a look.
Well, you're not gonna
I-
arrange anything. You're just driving by on
Yeah,
your
correct,
own.
Right. Right, because you realize it's this open meetings law, and
Yeah.
it's like handcuffs, you know, so.
Yes, right.
The other thing to note too is like when when I look at the two-dimensional drawing, which as the architect, I believe more in them than I do in the renderings, you know? That feels pretty darn good to me without that window. When I draw that window in, I go like, yeah, I'm with Johnny. I think it's more successful in this 2D drawing than perhaps on that rendering, which is always, I always defer to these, I guess. So, you know, as you're looking at it, you know, just, you know, we have a minute to think about it.
And inevitably, we'll be back here next month to discuss what's going on with any of this enclosure to the hotel and the privacy screening and all that, so, you know, the conversation needs to happen again, it could very well.
So once we take a drive-by when the
Do you know
windows are
when,
cut
do you know
out,
when windows are gonna
we
start
just hold it
arriving?
to the
Friday.
next meeting?
Oh, they arrive.
Or
I gather
back
that
to
the
you?
Oh,
windows
so-
cut out
so
by
even-
next week.
No,
So
so
even those
this-
windows could be, you know, because
Yeah.
as soon as they arrive, I'm sure they're gonna wanna get them in just to
Yeah, yeah,
This-
the-
get
This
them,
is-
get them not loose.
for sure.
This is the
Yeah.
realistic, what is going to happen, what you're approving. You're approving that right now. You'll drive by separately, and, you know, even if you want the third window, what are you gonna do? You're going to have the applicant say, like, right,
Can't
like,
do
how do
it.
you say,
so-
what, after the
yeah.
building is sided and everything, I really just like 3 windows.
What's the lead
You have to
time on
spell,
them?
like,
Gotta be-
yeah, I don't know how
Sure they are
realistic
now.
it
think it
is.
was
It's a
6 to 8
stock
weeks.
Stock Anderson
Yeah.
window, there might be a way to
Yeah.
finagle that,
So
it's one
that's-
window, you
right.
know.
Maybe,
Right.
I
We
doubt it.
wouldn't know until we spoke to the contractor though.
My feeling is that you'll get out there, take a look at it, you go, you probably don't need it.
That's how I think it's
Yeah,
gonna
right,
happen.
right. But I think it's really important to get out there and look at it,
Okay.
you know, for sure.
But
So-
at the end of the day, right, you're
So we're
really
approving-
approving, I mean, if you want to,
So
Yeah.
how
I'm
can we
just
really
saying it to
approve
you.
without, you know, we're maybe approving it, but.
No,
maybe
you
we have
can't,
to
that's
approve
what
it.
I'm saying,
So
you
really
can't
approve it.
do that.
can't play that game.
Either you're approving
Approving
it
it or
and
you're
you're
not
letting
approving
Johnny
it, one or the
proceed
other,
with the
yeah.
siding and the windows, or you're saying, no, I'm not approving it, and then Johnny can't side it, Johnny can't window
Oh,
it,
he
Johnny
can-
can't,
He can-
that's
there's
the
plenty of siding.
realistic.
Plenty of
There's
side.
plenty of siding to do.
Okay.
And I mean, this
Don't
is
need
what
that.
we submitted last time, right? This one here is the old one.
And this is the, I guess this is the drawing that you worked it into from,
Yeah, I mean, we went from, I mean, realistically, we went from here to, well, take that out, we went from here to here. We didn't really change it very much. I mean, we still have 2 windows, they're just a little closer together now.
So Kristen, do you
You
need
centered the
us to
window and
take
the
a
gable,
vote
and we move
on
one.
the windows, or it's approved?
it's whatever you, the board so chooses. If you approve that design right now, that's whatever.
done.
I mean,
Then it's
That's,
done.
then it's done.
It's done.
If
It's
you
done.
say that you don't approve it, that means he has to come back next month. I can't have a special meeting
Right.
because, right, we're handcuffed by law. I'm sorry. We
No,
have
I
to,
understand.
I mean, technically,
you'd have to wait. The applicant would have to wait a month.
I don't wanna get into technicalities about like what was originally, because clearly there was a disconnect on the rendering that was shown to you originally and some of the 2D elevation drawings, so I don't wanna just say that, you know, the
Right.
2D elevation drawings only have 2 windows and kind of hold anyone hostage, like, that's not the right way to
no,
go
we just
about it.
wanna make sure everybody's happy
Yeah.
with this thing, so, including John.
Well, it's a fabulous building, first of all.
Thank
So,
you.
I mean, that's what we're working with, and
Right.
it's
Took
these refinements,
Just about a tear down and made it,
yep.
What they've put into it and
Right.
done this thus far is really, it's
Yeah,
pretty
it
cool,
is,
No,
so.
it's amazing.
It is remarkable, that building, when you walked in it previously, you're kind of, were like, I don't know, you know, it was pretty rough, but now the thing is like a rock. Yes, they've done a great job,
Yeah, Coley, you
He's
got you
already
and
spent
Shelley,
his-
you guys.
a lot more than what was
I'm
planned.
sure, I'm
No.
sure.
I know,
It offered up a lot of problems, that building, but it's in great shape, yeah, so.
great. Well,
So
it's a nice addition to the building.
so
Thank you.
kind of split on the decision.
We're a split decision.
A split decision, so,
So we have 2 for it and 2 against it.
That's right.
So how do you,
We don't.
That's, no, we need, you have 2 for and 2 against, and that means that it can't,
it can't go for.
Right.
Right?
Well, we can't do this. We gotta go ahead and just leave. Let's just pass it.
you can't,
Done, it's done.
you can't.
I can, why can't I?
Because it's the law. You have to have people, you have to have 3 people say yes.
Well, that would-
Well, that's what,
You do.
That's
You
what
do.
Mike's doing.
Oh,
You do.
Oh,
That's
oh.
the
I'm
3.
saying
Oh,
yes,
you're
let's get it over with.
You
keep going
almost,
around and
you
around.
almost gave me a panic.
No, 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 we
Okay,
can't keep going
Matthew
around and
is out.
around.
Glenn
for one
Okay.
yes.
window.
Okay, so
Michael's
Jean
yes.
is a,
a
Jean?
yes?
Yes.
Michael is yes. Glenn is yes.
I'm very much against it, but I think to get the thing going, to sit here and keep going around and around for
Doesn't
one
make
stupid
sense.
window, doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't,
Because that's, the whole secret of this.
but we'd
The
still like
look
to
of the
do a
building is not
drive-by
the one
when
window.
the cutouts are there. so.
absolutely, and I.
This is the-
promise
this
we'll
is
make
the
this
one,
thing
right?
look Great, in promise.
Inevitably, we'll still show up with
I,
this
I've gotta
whole
say,
privacy screening.
from being a
This is the
designer
one?
for 10,000 years,
This is the one.
that what I find is a flaw in the whole thing is that you're driving in a car and you come up to the building and you are confused by all these doors and all these walls. Where the hell do you go with your wife to eat, or where
But
do you
they're
go
gonna
to
have
grow?
signs.
You can hope.
No, they will. I mean,
Well,
that's
you haven't
going
seen the
next.
last of me.
Bye, happy April
So,
Day.
so Johnny,
Your-
just
we
to-
have
just
your
to-
approval.
This isn't April Fool's,
So-
right?
So Johnny, just a question mark, and I'm just, again, kind of this whole thing, is, obviously, you'll be back for other stuff.
Yeah.
If, would you consider amending the design for the extra window if it's that strongly needed, which I think it won't be, but,
You think
you
it
know, won't be
Right.
needed, right, so, you know, again, it's, I think, getting out there and seeing it and, you know,
Yeah.
I think so.
I think when you step into the space, I mean, again, it's like you guys are gonna see it from the outside. I would love to invite you inside to see how it feels and just like seeing how appropriate the windows are as you work through each space, and it's like, you know, the design is
This is
just.
better too, by
I
the way.
was just gonna say,
This is, the third is the worst, second
I
is good.
agree with you.
Okay.
So here, I was just gonna say the same thing, we're on the same page. The reason why I don't think this caught anybody's attention or was, you know,
'Cause it
not
still looked
disagreeable. Because it still looked good, because this looks like separate kind of windows distinct from each other. These windows as is look like they're part of a pairing. And there's a reason, so that's why it feels like there's something missing.
There's a mistake.
Something missing, whereas I feel like when it's this way, and we had the balance of this, to be perfectly
Yes.
honest. I felt like it was very, honestly, I'd probably like to move that window over a little bit. I do like the window in the center.
Why can't both windows be the same size?
Well, I think
Cable
that-
of trust.
From the inside.
It's,
You don't have the room on the inside? of the
yeah, you know
window?
what, it's one of those things where,
This window gives you so much when it's big in that space, going right in front of the stairs, it's centered on the gable, and I can't get that size window in that other room. It's basically it's, you know, one of them you gain so much from having the big window just looking out from that space, and whereas the other one, if I could have two windows that size, or if we could, it'd
You
probably be
would.
nice, but it's just
You can't do it.
can't do it in that.
this is the thing that I've had to come to grips with, right? So you've been a designer for,
10,000 years.
10,000 years. I've only got like maybe, I don't know,
5,000.
5,000 or something. right? But the thing that I've had to come to grips with was, the best example I can get is, I could never understand any sort of modern stuff until I went to South Beach in Miami and I went, hey, this Cape Cod's not working, right? So there's just a sort of an appreciation, and I sort of get where Johnny's brain is coming from, and actually generation even is an appreciation for some of this. So I think it sort of speaks to, you know, sort of different design periods and times. I mean, there's so much more emphasis on modern now than there ever was.
You're
you know?
making absolutely good sense,
And so
absolutely good sense.
And that's where, you know, my classical side wants to go. I got A, I got B, you know, I wanna do that. But I feel like we're trying to hit a different market a little
Yeah.
bit. So,
Yeah.
totally get
So
it.
that's why I changed, because I just feel that we're just going around and around with something, and we're making it too important.
Yeah.
And there's no reason to do that.
And it's small on the big scheme, really.
And
there's
Getting
so
them
many other things
providing a
going on.
great
And at
thing
the
for
end of the
community.
day, you're gonna have a building back on the market that's actually, you know, that's generating business and
Taxes.
use and
Yeah.
everything,
Yep.
right? Versus what it was,
Nothing.
nothing.
A home for
Right.
stray cats.
A home of stray cats,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Good, this was great. Thank you so much for coming.
Now we have a lot of
you.
homeless
Thank you
cats.
for-
thank you for sneaking us in.
Unfortunately,
Okay.
They don't have a home anymore.
but it's a bunch of homeless
Thank
stray
you.
cats.
But if you
Okay,
come back
so
in a
this
month
is a-
and version 2 shows up at the elevation, some people will be happy. There's gonna be version 2. We're up version 2, version 2.
We're on this was approved, everybody approved it, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much
Thank
for
you.
coming. Bye, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
guys, take care.
Bye.
Always is fun.
Bye.
Always fun.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys, take care.
Thank you, bye.
We got them.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
See you guys.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
You can't leave yet.
Nope.
Do you know that the windows?
Any, what?
the
Any new
bronze
business?
windows-
No new
the
business.
bronze
No-
windows fade
And
to
I would like
white or black.
to
Yes.
bring a
And the
motion
sliding
to
faces
end the
away.
meeting
Okay, Matthew is adjourning.
I second.
Glenn seconded.
Oh, we did?
Yes.
Oh, I'm late to show, damn. Okay.
Okay, what do we need to do? What's left?
Just turn the computer off.
I'd like to make a motion
We
to
just
adjourn
did
the
it.
meeting.
We
You
just
did,
did that.
done. It's already
Done.
I'm
done.
not paying attention today.
It's all right.
And you're